Hey folks, welcome to this week's edition of Wild Kentuckiana Live. I'm your host, Tom Chamberlain. First of all, I want to apologize for being a few reruns the last 2 weeks. This past weekend, I was up in Pennsylvania speaking at the One Wish Foundation banquet. You've heard us talk about it on this show for a long time. But before we get into that, I want to offer my condolences to the families and victims in Orlando. It's a tragedy of what happened down there, and tougher gun laws will not fix that problem. What will fix it is detaining and deporting people on the FBI watch list and Homeland Security watch list. That's how we stop some of this stuff. Of course, it will not get rid of it all, but tougher gun laws is not the answer. So that being said, I offer my condolences to them. It's a tragedy what happened down there, and hopefully God's with them and watching over them through this tough time. Now, back to this One Wish Foundation banquet. Man, oh man, was it a good time. Well, actually, before we get into that, let's talk about our great sponsor, Knob Creek Gun Range. Knob Creek has been with us from day one, and they've helped us out through this whole process, and we really hope you're enjoying the show when you watch it. We try to bring on different guests each week and talk about different topics, and they've always stood with us throughout everything. Kenny Sumner's and the gang, if you need anything, hunting's coming up right around the corner. So if you need anything as far as hunting supplies, whether it be ammo, if you load your own, if your own brass, your own powder, whatever you need, they can supply for you. They have everything you need. They have a great range that you can go out there and set your gun in. I think it's 300 yards. For a small price, they'll set your gun in for you if you're too busy. But they have everything you need, so make sure you go see Kenny and the gang out there and tell them Tom from Wild Kentuckiana Live sent you. They'll be glad to take good care of you. Don't forget they have the 2 machine gun shoots a year, one in the spring, one in the fall. It's a great economic boost for our state. Brings in people from all over the country to display different weapons and parts and things of that sort. So that's your Second Amendment right at work right there. So folks, make sure you support them. Now back to the One Wish. Last week, Brian, staff member with Lights Out, and myself was able to go up to Pennsylvania, and this has been on the calendar for about 6 or 7 months now. They asked me to come up there and speak in front of their people and kind of support the One Wish Foundation and what they do. And if you've heard us talk about it, they do a lot of great things as far as taking kids of any type of life-altering disability. It doesn't have to be terminal. It can be anything. Hunting, fishing. They show some really, really cool videos that really made you want to cry a little bit. And they also help a lot of veterans out. So it's a great, great establishment they put together, total nonprofit. Nobody on the staff is paid for anything. They do it all out of their heart and the love of helping the kids and the vets. So I was able to go up there and speak. They had about 800 or 900 people show up. We donated, Lights Out donated a hunt in Kentucky for next year. I'm proud to say it brought the most money of any auction item they had. This is a little bit of the drone footage you can see. It was well put together. These guys do an amazing job, and it took probably 35, 40 people to pull this off. But it went off without a hitch. It was very successful. I just talked to Jared, which is the founder of One Wish Foundation, and he told me they raised between $80,000 and $85,000 in one night. So that will be able to help anywhere from 10 to 12 different children or vets, depending on the adventure they want to do, to take them out hunting, fishing, kayaking. It doesn't matter what they want to do. Whatever's on their list to do, that's what they'll take care of. And hopefully people watching this show will look up the One Wish Foundation. If you have a son or a daughter or a vet that would love to go hunting, they can take care of this. Just go to their foundation page, onewishfoundation.com, I believe it is, and they're going to, there's a place in there where you can click the button and you can just fill out the application. And they've had some big people like Jimmy Houston's been on there. onewishfoundation.org is what it is. And they will take care of you. You go in there and they got a who we are, what they do. Apply now, hit the apply now button, fill out the information. It could even be whitewater rafting, as you see there on their Facebook page or their website. You can do anything you want to these kids. It's amazing. So make sure that you go in there and check them out. We've also, Lights Out's really been blessed this past month and a half. Things are really going fantastic for us. And you've seen a lot of my guys on the show here. We've signed some really strong sponsors here in the last few months. L&M Custom Scents, which is right here, based out of Kentucky. We love working with companies right here in Kentucky. Serenity Custom Calls, Serenity Custom Calls is out of Missouri, and this guy hand turns every call. He does a phenomenal job with it. It's unbelievable. I got some in the mail last week, I guess it was, and the turkey calls were just amazing. So we're really proud to have them on there. And then, you know, there's two really big ones that really make us feel like we really validated what we do is Cabela's. We were able to sign Cabela's last month, and that was really big for us. Cabela's typically does not mess with shows that are, you know, on the lower end, web shows, that type of thing. So when you sign a big sponsor like Cabela's, it really lets you know that you really are doing your job and doing your job correctly. And I can't thank Tony French enough at the Louisville Cabela's to get me in contact with the national people and start that ball rolling. So it's really good. They got everything you possibly need. Don't forget, Father's Day is coming up. It's right around the corner. You definitely have to get something for your father. What better place than doing it at Cabela's? And the folks out there are very knowledgeable. They're very understanding of what you're needing, and they can take care of you, and the prices are phenomenal. And then, as you can see, I'm wearing a lot of different camo here. This is a camo pattern. We're actually going to have the owner of this on here in just a few minutes by phone, and it's called Prime 1 Camo. It's not hit the market yet, folks. It's brand new. They do everything from light, mid, heavyweight stuff. They do, as you can see, it's holding my Diet Mountain Dew, koozies. They have it all, and it's going to take the industry by storm, and I'm not sure if the hunting industry is even ready for this type of camo yet. So look out for it, and like I said, we're going to have Stacie come on here in just a few minutes via the phone, and we're going to ask her what it's like for a female to break into this hunting industry that's dominantly male, especially with a brand new camo pattern. And she's going to talk a little about that and a little bit about what her background is and how she came up with this pattern and where it's going to go. So when we go to break, we come back from break, we're going to have Stacie Walker from Prime 1, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're watching Wild Kentuckiana Live. Hey guys, welcome back to Wild Kentuckiana Live. I'm your host, Tom Chamberlain. And with me on the phone now, I have a very special young lady out of Tennessee. Her name is Stacie Walker. Stacie, you there?
Hey, how's it going, Tom?
I'm doing great. Stacie is the owner and inventor of Prime 1 Camo. And folks, you've never probably heard of Prime 1 yet. And not a lot of people in the industry have, but I can tell you when it's all said and done, you're going to ask where'd Realtree and where'd Mossy Oak go? Because she's going to own this market before it's all said and done. Stacie, we're very happy to have you on talking with us tonight.
Good to be here.
Now, tell me a little bit about your background. Before you started designing camo, what was your background?
I grew up in South Louisiana, hence the LSU Tiger in the picture, and was an avid, went hunting, duck hunting, deer hunting, saltwater fishing. Really just loved being outdoors. I was the little girl that my mom tried making me go to dancing lessons and piano, and I hated every minute of it.
Right.
And just wanted to paint and go outside. And started really doing artwork when I was 5 years old. Had my first shotgun, 410, when I was 5 years old, a pair of hip boots. So I was just really, that was my thing. And went to college in Memphis for art. I was a medical illustrator for years, went into surgery and would draw the pictures that you see in biology books and stuff, and didn't really love that, but I did it for 13 years and decided that I wanted to just really focus on wildlife art. And so that's when it all just kind of clicked for me. We moved to Pickwick Lake, Tennessee, and I got to sit back and raise my two sons with my husband, and they are, huge outdoorsmen, so it's kind of a family affair for us to hunt and fish, and it was just kind of natural that everything I wanted to paint was animals.
Now, I tell you what impresses me is I was looking at your website of your paintings of the big bull elk you did, and we just showed the picture of the leopard up in the tree. And is that oil paint, or exactly what is that?
Those two are actually oil paintings. I really prefer that medium to work in. I can work in any mediums, but that's my favorite. I usually paint paintings that are anywhere from 3 foot to 6 foot in diameter, big stuff. And I'm what I call a photorealist. I have a degree in illustration and graphic design, and just really, you won't ever see me painting something abstract. I want it to look like the animal actually looks.
I tell you what, it's very impressive. Those pictures are very impressive. But I could give you a run for your money because I make a really nice stick guy. And it's pretty in depth, and I'm pretty talented when it comes to that. So
well, it's definitely a God-given talent, and I love it. It's my passion, and it's just one of those things to be able to combine your two passions and make a job out of it. There isn't anything better in the whole world.
You're exactly right. Now tell me, how did going from being an artist and painting and drawing wildlife to designing a camo pattern, how does that work?
Well, my favorite animal to hunt is elk. And I go to New Mexico and Colorado every year, mule deer hunting and elk hunting. And, I own plenty of my competitors' camo, moss, yoke, and Realtree. And, when you get out there, out west, and you're, here it is, last year we were hunting late season, rifle season, November, and it was 68 degrees, and we were in scrub oaks and rocks. And by the afternoon, we were at a foot of snow in aspens at 12,000 feet.
Right.
So one, camouflage, it's great if you're sitting around in a stand and you're not moving around a whole lot. But if you're a transitional hunter that's going to be all over the place, different areas of the country, different times of the year, different terrain in one hunt, you really need something that is going to be more effective in all those scenarios. And so I got to thinking, and with the movement that's occurring in it, I don't know if everyone is aware of it yet, but you're going to see a giant trend shift in camouflage over the next, this year starting on,
right,
to static forms of camo, non-stick and leaf. And I had kind of embraced that. I was privy to design a camo pattern for a huge gun company that I'm not at liberty to say the name of yet because they're not releasing it yet.
Right.
But that kind of got the wheels turning. I had never designed camo before, but I thought, hey, I could give it a shot. I'm an artist, why not?
Right.
So, putting my knowledge of hunting in with my knowledge of, what the animals do in the wild prompted all of it. And when I designed Prime on camo, it was one of those things I wanted it to be very organic in nature, not specific to any kind of flora and fauna. I wanted it to just be non-directional. I hate looking like a half of a tree trunk,
right,
when I'm standing in the middle of an
absolutely
open field. So what I did was I wanted to use organic shapes, but I wanted to use the colors that you need to find in a hunting situation. And it was amazing how much I kept coming back to the spots on a leopard or
right,
the details in a, why is it that you can be sitting in a deer stand, and I know we've all had it happen, and you're not seeing anything, and then the next thing you know, this doe is staring you down, and you're like, where did she materialize from?
Absolutely.
Animals are innately able to blend into their surroundings, and that's a natural form of camouflage. So this intrigued me and prompted me to really think about a different alternative for camo.
And I tell you what, that's really what interested us with Lights Out, being in conjunction, a partnership with you, was we do travel the country. We may be in Louisiana gator hunting, or we may be Montana mule deer hunting. And you can't wear the same camo pattern for both. And
right,
with your vast variety of camo pattern that's going to be hitting the market, it has the availability to hunt all over this country. And I know you've probably heard it a million times. It looks a little bit like cryptic. Well, to me, it doesn't look like cryptic, because cryptic to me, not that it's not a good pattern for them, but I typically don't hunt the Middle East. And that's what it reminds me of a lot when I do this. I love the breakup and the odd shapes and the greens and browns and grays and everything that's in this camo pattern that will help you blend in like the leopards do or like any other, you know, animal in the wildlife. So we are just super pumped up to be teamed up with you and help you take this to the next level, which we know is going to be phenomenal. Now, Stacie, we've got to take a quick break real quick. Hang on with us, and as soon as we come back, we're going to talk some more about Prime 1 Camo.
Sounds good.
Hey folks, welcome back to Wild Kentuckiana Live. I'm your host, Tom Chamberlain. And on the phone we have Stacie Walker, owner and creator of Prime 1 Camo. Stacie, you with us still?
I'm here.
Okay, before we went to break, we talked a little bit about your background as far as you being an artist and how your camo sets out apart from everybody else that's currently on the market. Now, we all know this is a dominant male industry. Has been for years. We see a lot of the trending ways going to a lot of female owners and different things. There's a lady that owns wasp broadheads, Montana decoys. So, you know, it's heading in that direction. So far, how hard has it been for you to break in this industry with the big players being all male dominated?
You know, it's kind of funny because, I've been to the trade shows for years with my husband. This is the first year that I hit ATA and shot and all of those representing myself. And,
sure.
You know, it was kind of like hitting them with a fireball. They didn't know what to expect because here's this woman standing in their booth and they're just thinking, okay, it's just another chick in my booth. And they never saw me coming, so I just blindside them. And, you know, I guess it's because I was kind of raised around guys. I was taking hunting and all that, so I could talk the lingo. And I was not afraid to approach the CEO of the company or whoever, because, you know, at the end of the day, we all put our pants on the same way.
Exactly.
And so I've really been blessed that I haven't had any confrontation or issues yet. You know, if anybody's not taking me seriously, they haven't told me to my face, you know, and it's been an absolutely amazing. I mean, I literally just finished designing this pattern last August, so it's not even a year old yet. And I feel like the traction that we have made so far has just been incredible. And, you know, people don't realize how long it actually takes from creation of an idea or a product or a camouflage to actually getting it in the retail, you know, in the consumer's hands. It's a long process and a lot of meetings, but, you know, it's been amazing the reception that we've had. And I think it's because the timing was perfect and the fact that I'm a female wildlife artist is completely out of the norm. So it kind of just intrigued everyone and really opened up a lot of doors for people to say, you know, I might not be interested, but I'm going to listen to what she's got to say, and then I can just kind of hook them in. And so I've been excited about it. I haven't been intimidated at all.
You know, we was in break. I was talking to my floor director, and, you know, of course we all, you know, my show, we love all of our sponsors, and we couldn't have our show without our sponsors. But there's certain sponsors that really get me fired up. And I was telling them on the break here that, you know, this new camo pattern has really lit a fire under me as far as a sponsor that I haven't had in a long time. Of course, Cabela's lit that fire for me too, but, you know, that's a big national company. But I'm really, really stoked about this Prime 1 camo, and, you know, I'm actually having a golf cart built right now. It's going to be all decked out in Prime 1 camo. So we're really,
cool.
really excited to be working with you on not really the ground floor, but, you know, maybe floor 1 or 2 and helping you get to the penthouse.
Well, we're excited. We're excited to be partnered with you and your crew. You know, it's a. I guess what's great about it for me is that I always loved hunting. I always loved wildlife, and to be able to just express it and see the beauty of it is it's one thing to design something, but then to actually see it work is just the coolest thing ever. You know, we did an extensive field test with some prototype clothes here the last couple of months, and you know, I shipped it out to my my great outfitter guide at Colorado Adventure Guide School up in Mesa, Colorado, and he had his guide school guys go all over the place taking pictures and stuff. And you know, you could go into the aspens where there was partial snow. You could go into the rocks. You could go down to Mississippi and here in Tennessee where we live and right now, and blend in well enough. And I think that one key thing that sets us apart, and I'll address the whole you know, competitor thing. You know, the difference that sets us apart, we get, you know, we get accused, oh yeah, you're like Cryptek. And yes, you know, if you're going to compare Coke and Pepsi or Ford and Chevrolet, yeah, we're like Cryptek. But
right.
If you look at us next to each other, you know, they use very rigid lines, very stenciling, great guys, great pattern, but very tactical. Ours, I wanted to purposely have no straight lines in it. I wanted it to be all organic so that no matter how big, how small an area, what direction you turned it, you were going to blend in. You weren't going to have any lines. And that was critical to me. And one thing that I made sure to do, and I guess it was my art coming out in me, was to put a lot of highlights and shadows in my, you know, a lot of camo patterns you see are real dark.
Right.
And they have a tendency to blob out. I wanted mine to break up, and it has more lights than normal patterns do. And what it allows you to do is when you get off into the distance, your eyes pick up those specks of light, and it fragments your outline and allows you to blend in if you're standing out in the middle of a sagegrass field,
right.
or if you're in the middle of a tree stand with no leaves on the trees. So I've been extremely excited about the actual effectiveness of the pattern because, you know, that's the proof's in the pudding. I can design it, but it has to actually work, and that was the kind of icing on the cake for me, was seeing it actually work.
Yeah, the question that I'm getting asked the most, because we're really trying to push this prime right now on all of our media sites, is release date. When will it be released to the public for them to purchase?
Well, right now we have currently, because that's one thing about Prime One Camo, we're huge in not just the hunting market, but in the fishing industry and the outdoor industry in general. We call
right.
it a lifestyle pattern. We have 10 color variations of it. We have fishing shirts available and hunting shirts and hats and koozies and sunglasses right now. Some of our great partners, Pugs and AES Optics, are the first to market with products. You will actually see full loaded displays, the entire display wrapped in Prime One Camo with hats and koozies and sunglasses and all kinds of stuff in over 5,000 convenience stores around the country. July 4th weekend, it'll launch. AES Optics has cooler bags, sunglasses, koozies, all available now. Our actual hunting clothing by World Famous Sports, they're one of our first ones that's going to launch, will be hitting available in stores, well, actually hitting the States first week of August. It'll be in Dunham's and several of the other big retail stores, plus smaller, you know, hunting stores in
sure.
the areas. We have Cabela's that's going to have koozies on every single checkout aisle in all stores. Not sure of the release date on that yet. We have, I'm trying to think on my list, Kimlor Bedding is going to be doing bedding. We have Styx River, who does all of the aluminum boat stencils. They will have that available. It's available online right now. SEI and Tyler Wraps doing camo wrap for your vehicles if you want your truck or your boat wrapped. They'll do custom boat wraps. Gumtree Fabrics, one huge one that we were really surprised at the grasp on it was Gumtree Fabrics supplies all of the major furniture manufacturers in the country with fabric. And they had a huge retail and dealer show this past week in Las Vegas, I think it was, and said the response was huge. They had people, pillow companies, like throw pillow companies, recliner companies, sofa companies, anywhere from your middle price range to your highest of high, and they all loved the camo. So you're going to see it across markets that you wouldn't normally think would be penetrated, and it's because we're a non-traditional look. A lot of people aren't going to want a tree-looking image on non-hunting clothing, but we're penetrating a market in so many different ways that I'm excited about it.
Well, we're going to take another quick break. Stay with us one more segment here if you can.
Sure.
Okay, folks, we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to Wild Kentuckiana Live. I'm your host, Tom Chamberlain. With me on the last two segments, I've had Stacie from Prime One Camo, and she's been going through the whole gauntlet of how she got the concept and how it's all worked out. We just partnered up with them, and we're super excited. And like I said in the beginning, I don't know if the hunting industry is ready for this pattern yet. It's going to take it by storm. It's going to blow everybody out of the water. You're going to be walking around everywhere, Walmart, Kroger's. It don't matter where you're going to be walking, you're going to see this Prime One Camo. It's going to be that popular. I truly believe in it. Stacie, you still with us?
I'm here.
Okay. We got about 4 minutes left in this segment here. We went a little long last time, so we're gonna get right to it. They can go to crosspowerstore.com as of right now and buy the shirt, the hat, and the koozie I currently have on. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, tell me a little about this Cross Power store here.
My two sons, Cole and Court. Cole is just graduated from high school. He's 18. Court's 15. About 4 years ago, decided that they wanted to start a line of products that basically allowed them to share their faith. And, they wanted it to be cool, edgy products that people would like. And that they just had a passion for it. And with their dad being, producing products for Moss Oak and Realtree and different colleges, he was kind of in line with saying, okay, sure, And so they did, and they've probably got about 35 products that they have developed.
I'm currently wearing the camouflage wristband with the cross on it now. That is the coolest thing I've seen in a long time. So I'm proudly wearing that.
Yeah, we have actually 14 colors. A big thing was the college color combinations.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of have a little bit of everything on there. And in fact, anybody who's listening, if you go to crosspowerstore.com, you can enter the code HERO, HERO1, and you can get 25% off of everything. That's including Crosspower products and Prime One.
Wow, that's...
And we just got our new cooler bags in. And it's just a way for them to, it's a great life lesson. They're passionate about what they do. They get to learn how to run it. My son's the president of it. They have to do their own bookkeeping and shipping and the whole 9 yards. And yeah, you can't get better lesson than that.
You're right, and that's awesome. It's a great life lesson, and it's great that they're following their faith and putting their faith out there. I know we just got the cool. You just sent me a big old goodie bag in the mail this week, and I was thinking it was Christmas all over again when I opened that big box up. So I really do appreciate that. And you all by far have the best tagline I have ever seen. Tell the folks at home what your tagline is.
I got to thank my husband for that one. He had the brilliant idea. He said, "Why be a tree when you can be the predator?"
That is
because
awesome.
Our whole concept is we stalk. We don't want to just be sitting idle in one place all the time. We're always moving. Whether you are hunting a deer stand or not, you're still got to walk to and from that deer stand. And how many times have you jumped something on the way to or from? So it's important that you blend in wherever you are. And so that was the whole mantra behind it.
Now, we have a couple sponsors that are really big with us as far as Dexter's Knife Company and Tribe Archery. For the folks of you all that watch the show regularly, we shoot Tribe and we believe in Tribe. And Dexter Knife has been on here, and they're the oldest knife company in the world. Started out in 1818, 100% American made. So we're really proud to have both of those. But what I'm more proud of is that Stacie is currently working deals with both of them to maybe get some licensing product for the Dexter knife handles and dipping the tri bows in your prints. So
yeah, it looks like it's going to be. We've had some really good conversations. They're great guys, and I'm real excited about the possibilities of our two companies partnering together. I think it'd be a win-win for everybody.
Oh, it would be. And I told the guys over at Dexter, I said, guys, your knives are amazing, but the handles are plain. Let's put some little color to them, and with all your options you have, including your fishing line options with your blues and all that, it's going to be a perfect match for you all. And I've had several conversations with Dexter in the last week, and they are just as excited about this as I believe you are. So when you get both parties this excited, nothing but good can come from this. So, you know.
I think it's going to be really cool, and especially on the fishing side of the market, we're going to be the official camo sponsor for Ultimate Match Fishing, which is the #2 fishing show with Joe Thomas on the Outdoor Channel. He's a phenomenal fisherman. In fact, he's coming up here to do a charity tournament this week, and it's just a great fit. Dexter knives would be a great fit, with their fillet knives, and it's just something I think we need to make happen.
Well, Stacie, I thank you for your time. I know you're a busy lady, but you got a family, you got some artwork to do, you got some camo stuff to do, so I really appreciate your time. And we'll be talking to you soon. And don't forget, why be the tree when you can be the predator?
Man, I appreciate you having me on. It's great to get to talk to everybody and tell them a little bit about us.
Sounds great. Talk to you soon, Stacie.
Bye-bye.
Folks, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to Wild Kentuckiana Live. I'm your host, Tom Chamberlain. And just a little recap, we got to talk about the One Wish Foundation and me going up there last week. Had a ball. Got to talk about some new sponsors for Lights Out, which I'm proud of all of them. I can't wait. And we just spent a few segments with Stacie from Prime One Camo. So we've had a really busy show, and now we're going to bring on a friend of the show, Dennis Johnson. He helps promote our show through his Facebook page, Kentucky Whitetail Hunters. If you like his page, you always see him just pumping us up and always watching the show. We really do appreciate our fans out there taking the time to do this. Dennis, thanks for coming on tonight.
Well, thanks, Tom, for having me.
And you are a big advocate of our show.
I really am. I started watching your show back early last year, and that's when me and you got to talking about it, and I welcomed you and invited you to come over to Kentucky Whitetail Hunters and join us and kind of follow us. And we kind of followed one another through the course of things. And I really have enjoyed your show.
Well, I appreciate it. We try to bring, just different topics on and different aspects, and, everybody has their own way of doing things. It may not necessarily be the right way. It may work fine for you, but there's also a lot of different options. So your site and my show kind of work hand in hand as far as giving people other options to get to the same destination.
Exactly. Plus, it's, what happens is you're a local Kentucky show.
I am.
So that only makes people more interested to see what's going on around Kentucky.
Right. And we've had some great guests on here. I mean, from fans of the show to NFL football players to Major League Baseball players, Commissioner Johnson, a lot of guys from the Elk Department of Fish and Wildlife. So we've had some really senators.
Right.
Had 2 senators on. So we've really come through with a lot of really top-notch guests for the viewers at home. So how's the page doing right now?
We are just short of 1,500 members right now.
Okay.
Since the last time that we were on your show, we gained approximately 200 members.
Okay.
Just from viewing of your show.
Okay, that's great.
And we're really doing great. We keep the site really exciting. We try to keep it from going stale.
Right.
So there's never one time that you'll not see the same thing on there. Okay. It's going to be ever so changing constantly, keeping people interested in the sport of whitetail hunting.
Sure.
And a lot of our motto is we're still there after the hunt.
Right.
Our season never ends past the hunt.
And it's great because now, people are really getting fired up for deer season. I've seen you putting some food plots out. I've seen you know several posts on there about food plots going out, and people are asking. You know, there was one gentleman a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago. He planted a small soybean food plot,
Right.
and it was ate down to the stems. And his question was, what happened? Well, if you don't plant, you know, 2 to 5 acres at least of soybeans, they're never going to have a surviving chance.
Exactly.
And there were several people that were very nice and explained to him, you know, you got to do a certain amount of size, depend on your herd population. And it was just great information for that guy because he asked a simple question. I've never seen anybody be nasty on there or smart aleck, or everybody's just informative, giving their opinion.
Because not only does it help that person, but it helps every other person that's wondering that very same thing
Absolutely.
that won't take the time to ask.
Right, sure. You know, there's a lot of questions on it that I'm sure people are seeing that like, hey, I was wondering that too. And you know, you read through some of the comments and you're getting a lot of response back, and it's a very interactive site. So that's really good. Now, you're putting some food plots out, right?
Yes.
What kind of food plots did you put out this year?
I put whitetail clover out and the Ladino clover.
Yep.
And then in August, I'm going to till up and plant beets.
Okay.
And
You doing the sugar beets?
Sugar beets. I'm hoping that they'll turn out really well. So
Yeah, we did a big turnip plot and sugar beet plot last year, and we had some of the biggest turnips I'd ever seen.
really.
Yeah. You know, when you get those sweet vegetables in the ground, and once that first frost hits it, it becomes like a dessert buffet bar for them.
Well, the whole food plot deal is all new to me for this year. But like we have talked previously, I have been following QDMA
Yes.
and listening, you know, finding out what all is going on, what I do need to do. And plus, I've also been asking questions on Kentucky Whitetail Hunters.
Well, I mean, nobody in this world knows everything.
Right, exactly.
And, you know, we all ask questions. It's how we learn, it's how we grow. And QDMA is a great resource if you're dealing with anything food plot related, because those guys, they know it all.
They do.
I have asked weird questions to QDMA guys, and right off the top of their head, they know the answer. Because they've either been there or had somebody else ask that question. And I've yet to have one QDMA guy tell me, I do not know.
Wow.
I mean, they're that intelligent when it comes to food plots. And, you know, they're all hunters, and most of them a lot of them are farmers. And it's just a great resource, and you should be getting your plots out right now. We just had a big storm come through Louisville here about 30 minutes ago, and everybody that's already planned the food plot was praying for that rain.
Yes, it should put a real good soaking of rain on some food plots.
Because it was a heavy downpour, so, you know, hopefully that will help all the food plots out. But if you have any questions about food plots, just go to the QDMA website. They will be able to direct you to the right resources that you're going to need, whether it be prep for your ground, soil samples, what's best for your area to plant. If you have some shaded areas that don't get a lot of sun, what you need to plant there. These guys over there at QDMA are top notch. And, you know, as far as my show, very fortunate to have Ed Morris on my show. He was with QDMA for a lot of years, did a lot of speaking engagements with them and seminars on food plots. So he's really been a valuable asset to our team as far as when it comes to food plots, because, you know, we'd put the food plots in. They didn't always mature like they're supposed to, or didn't do what they were supposed to do. And I was always, what did we do wrong? It was all about ground prep. We didn't do the right things ground prep. And when Ed came along and joined our staff, that was really a big boost for us, because since he's helped us out, man, we have gotten some monster food plots going. It's been great. It really has. So, you know, in a few seconds here, we're going to take another quick break, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit about hunting.
Cool beans.
Because it's right around the corner for us.
That's right. We're excited.
And I tell you what, it's just got me tore up right now.
I believe this is going to be a great year. You know,
I hope so.
I really do.
Folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to Wild Kentuckiana Live. I'm your host, Tom Chamberlain, and we're here with Dennis Johnson from the Facebook page, Kentucky Whitetail Hunters. Make sure you go like their page, share their page, send all your friends and family over there. It's a lot of great information. Ask any questions you want to over there. They'll be glad to take care of you. Also, go like our page, Wild Kentuckiana Live. You'll see some new upcoming guests we'll have and things of that sort. So Dennis, last year we had a pretty bad acorn crop.
Very bad.
Well, in my area, I heard some parts of the states had really good drop. We didn't. So I'm really hoping for a great mass this year.
I've seen on the farm that I live on, our mass crop looks pretty decent.
That's good because, you know, we just picked up a new lease, and I'm not going to tell you the county, I'm not going to even tell you the state. It's 100% hidden, and it's basically about 98% woods. So I'm really dependent on a good crop this year because we're really going to need it. I went out, everybody's getting cameras out. You're seeing camera pictures everywhere. Everybody's got their corn out, they got their mineral out. Folks, make sure you're putting that mineral out. That mineral is important. These bucks right now need that mineral for their racks. But deer in general right now need that mineral lick. So make sure you have several mineral licks throughout your property that you're hunting. But you can see that everybody's putting camera pictures online.
Loving it.
And you know, I got a friend of mine, he when he goes and checks his cameras, he's from Casey County, and they're a different breed down in Casey County.
Oh, yes, I've heard.
And he calls it Casey County porn.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he calls it, because he just can't wait to look at those pictures and roll through those pictures, so we always give him a hard time about that.
Oh, to me, it's like I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, we set cameras out June the 2nd, and we went down last week to check them out. And I had some bad news because some of them were positioned too high, and so I didn't catch no pictures. One of my feeders, I didn't hook the battery up to it, so it didn't go off. So I had a little run of bad luck there, but at least we got it rectified. We know.
That sounds like mine. I went to check it early this morning. The SD card said full.
Yeah. I try to use 16 gig SD card. It's hard to fill one of those up, but I was able to get this picture here off one of them. I feel like he's still got a good solid month and 3/4, 2 months to grow, and had him coming in every single day, daylight hours, morning and evening, straight to the mineral lick every day.
That's a great looking buck.
And I think he's got a lot of potential. He's definitely going to be on the hit list this year. Hopefully, we'll be able to show him on film next year. But people are showing their deer pics like crazy, and I've seen a couple of them. Guy Mike Hagan's been on the show before. He posted one. That thing was already probably 19 inches wide.
Wow.
So Kentucky was just named #2 buck, Boone and Crockett State, and bucks like that are the reason why. And people are really doing their job as far as managing everything to get them up and going. Now I tell you what, have you seen a lot of dead deer on the side of the road lately?
Yes, I have.
I can't ever recall seeing this many dead deer on the side of the road. I'm not even sure why.
I'm baffled as to why myself. I have never seen so many. Even actually at the farm, I can't tell you countless times that I have run at the edge of the road to spook the deer back off the road because when you hear traffic coming, and I just happen to be in that certain situation where a certain time when you do see them, and it's, if you don't, last year we had 5 almost in front of the house killed.
Really?
Yes.
And that's devastating for us. I was in Pennsylvania this past weekend, and when I get back, I was talking to my wife, and she was like, well, there was a fawn laying in our front yard.
Wow.
And Mama wasn't nowhere near around, and, I asked her what, did she see any other deer? She said no, it wasn't moving, and it had flies and bees all over it. So I'm assuming the fawn was sick and Mama just left it. That might seem cruel, but that's nature.
Right.
That's what they do. When I got home, I got in the shower, got out, and there was a bunch of buzzards in my backyard. And the fawn had went around the backyard and expired back there. So, but on camera, when we checked our cameras, I've got 26 cameras out, and not one fawn picture yet. But I had so many enormous does that it should be dropping at any time now. I mean, it was crazy. These does were huge.
Have you noticed the amount? Have you got any real close-up pictures of does? How they're just eat up with ticks on their ears?
Yes, I have.
Unbelievable.
We were looking at that. I had about 15 or 18 pictures that looked like it was a doe, but almost looked like a button buck because it was raised so much because of all the ticks that were stacked on top of each other. And it was solid black around there.
And how they survived that, it's beyond me.
I don't know, because it put us in the hospital with Lyme
Right.
disease and Rocky Mountain fever and everything else.
Yep.
But they do, and they fall off and they move about their business. But yeah, I was wondering that too. I'd seen so many pictures they were just covered up with it.
Absolutely. Yep.
And we really got one cool picture of a cool doe. She's got 4 complete white socks halfway up her
Really?
legs. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
She almost looks like a thoroughbred that they've taped on all the 4 of them. So it's really cool. Hopefully we can get a kid or something to harvest that, because that'd make a really cool gun rack.
We talk about the ticks and all that. I can't stress myself enough how bad it is that we should be using off and all these insect repellents right
absolutely.
now. How bad they are.
Make sure you're spraying down permanite on your clothes the night before.
Absolutely.
Do not put it on your skin. It's not made for skin for humans. But just lay your clothes outside and spray them all down with that permanite, and you shouldn't have any problem getting those ticks on there. And I know those guys over at Lloyd and them are going to try to put something together.
Yep.
With a tick repellent and a cover scent, same time. So that'll be really good if they could pull that off. That will really definitely help out. So tell people how they go about to get onto your website, your Facebook page.
Well, just go over to look us up on Facebook at Kentucky Whitetail Hunters, and go in and request to join our site. And we'll go in, one of my admin, myself, or one of my other 2 admin, we'll go in and approve you. And once you're in there, post up your pictures, and we hope you enjoy our site. We're all about, remaining calm. We don't have no idiots, so to speak, on the site. We don't allow that. But the main thing is go on and enjoy the site. Post up your pictures and your stories and ask questions, and don't be afraid whatsoever to ask the question, because we'll find you the answer one way or another. And not only will you learn, there's probably 20 or 30 more people that'll learn as well.
Absolutely. And there's enough intelligent people on this Facebook site that will be able to answer the question or get it. And there's a lot of Fish and Wildlife Conservation officers that are also on that can answer a lot of questions. Folks, I hope you enjoyed the show this week. Stay tuned for next week. We'll see you. Wild Kentuckiana Live.